Hey guys, week 4, day 1 vocabulary. We have 3. Your first word is inherit. The definition is a verb and it means to receive from a person who has died. James inherited land and money from his grandfather. An advanced definition as a transitive verb, definition number 1, to receive money, property, or the like through a will made by or legal succession to a person who has died, to be heir to. I inherited this watch from my uncle. She inherited several $1,000,000 from her after her father's death. Definition number 2, to receive a characteristic by genetic transmission through a parent. He inherited the disease from his father. She inherited her blue eyes from her mother's side of the family. Definition 3, to receive something from or as if from a predecessor. She inherited the previous tenant's dreadful wallpaper. The new president inherited the problems that arose under the former administration. Intransitive verb definition number 1, to receive property or succeed to a position or title as an heir or have the right to do so. He inherits when he becomes 20. Definition number 2, to receive characteristics, authority, duties, or the like from a forebearer or predecessor. The Spanish cognate is heredar. The Spanish word heredar means inherit. All right. These are some examples of how the word or forms of the word are used. Number 1, your genes determine how tall you grow, what color hair you have, and how quickly your skin gets sunburned. Our genes are inherited from our parents, which is why we see family resemblances between parents, children, and siblings. These genes are passed on through generations by either artificial or natural selection. Number 2, inherited genetic information explains why certain species look different from the others. Monarch butterflies, orange butterflies with black markings and white spots on their wings, are most common in Mexico and the United States. Their bright color makes them easily noticeable to predators, but also acts as a warning that they are poisonous if eaten. I didn't know that. Number 3, so many of our most defining traits have been learned rather than inherited. For instance, if you're really great at video games, it's not because one or both of your parents passed down skills in some video game mastery gene. It's because you practiced, played a lot of video games, and developed those skills yourself. All right. Vocabulary word number 2, trait. The advanced definition is a noun, and it means a distinguishing feature or characteristic as of one's appearance, ability, personality, or nature. Although he was very wealthy, generosity was not one of his personality traits. An interesting trait of the hummingbird is its ability to fly backward. These are some of the examples of how the word or forms of the word are used. Number 1, when humans first began to attempt to domesticate dogs between 15,000 and 8,000 years ago, they used them for a variety of things, from warmth to hunting to sanitation. Any number of these traits could have been what early humans selected for. Dogs with their best sense of smell, dogs with the most fur to provide warmth, and so on. Number 2, if you've ever been in a park during the summer, you may have seen butterflies flittering from flower to flower. They are quite beautiful and, like humans, seem to have individual traits. Number 3, flashy features such as bright feathers and giant claws usually show up on males. That's because such traits are almost always the product of sexual selection, says Emian. They were shaped by competitions for males. All right. And the last vocabulary word is variation. Variation is in an advanced definition is a noun. Definition number 1, the act or process of changing or the condition of being changeable. During the spring, there is a great deal of variation in the temperature. Definition number 2, a slightly different form or version of something, such as an artistic work. This story is a variation of a well-known folk tale. And definition number 3, the degree to which something varies, amount of change or difference. The Spanish cognate is variación. The Spanish word variación means variation. These are some examples of how the word or forms of the word are used. Number 1. What struck me was how much variation there is in tissue color and other internal features, she said. Everyone looks different on the inside as well as the outside. Number 2. It's a complex lottery in which offspring of the first two organisms inherits a combination of their genetic material. The possible variations inherent in recombining the parent's DNA is very, very broad, larger than the pool of entries into the state lottery jackpot. And that's where we get so much variation even within the population of a particular sexually reproducing species. Number 3. This combination of two incomplete sets of genetic materials accounts for trait variation and change or evolution across a sexually reproducing population. All right, that's it for vocabulary. Next, questions.